I love The Binding of Isaac. It's one of the most objectively fun games I've ever played. I actually found out about it after googling my own name way back in 2013. I played the original, and even though I found it really fun, I couldn't ever beat the first boss. The dark setting and shooting tears and smooth controls just vibed with me, but obviously I never got far enough to see what the game was really about. In 2017 I was looking for some good two-player games, and The Binding of Isaac came up on a couple of lists. I instantly remembered it from when I played it back in the day, and shortly after I picked up a physical copy of Afterbirth Plus on sale. I just have to say, Isaac is just insane. It is maybe the closest I've ever come to being addicted to a game. I play it and a half-hour run goes by in the blink of an eye, and if I die it's even worse because I feel like I need to keep playing over and over until I absolutely stomp all over the game. I've seriously put hours in a night into this game, and the night has just completely disappeared. If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll probably have figured out that I've got no time for story and love just games that are all about gameplay. Isaac is exactly that. It's also, in my opinion, the perfect roguelike. For those of you that don't know what a roguelike is, it is basically a game that has randomly generated rooms, enemies and loot. Roguelikes are inherently replayable, but Isaac takes this system to another level. The game works almost entirely around synergies, meaning that in addition to power-ups that give you more damage or health, you also have insane power-ups that can let you fly, shoot lasers instead of tears, turn yourself invincible, and so on. There are over 500 items, all with different abilities, and these items combine in some hilarious ways. They can be good or bad, depending on what power-ups you currently have. One of my favourite examples is Dr. Fetus. This mad power-up turns all your tears into bombs at a severely reduced rate of fire. Now this on its own makes you crazy powerful, but also very dangerous. The game has the ability to say fuck you and put you in a room with lots of enemies really close by and make you either die by touching them or blow yourself up with your bombs. But if you also happen to get a power called Pyromaniac, bombs don't damage you at all, they heal you. This means that instead of blowing yourself up, you're now basically invincible. There are so many more combos like this that come along once in a while where you can just completely break the game. There's a combo that can get every single item free through the shop, and it will 100% crash the game as soon as you try to fire a tear. In the same way that a story-based game is usually the exact same experience every time you play it, The Binding of Isaac is just the complete opposite. No two runs are the same. Sometimes you'll completely breeze through it, and other times you'll get fucked and die in the first couple of floors. The excitement comes from wondering what's in the next room, what the next power is, and how far you will push it every time. After beating the final boss a few times, you unlock a new final boss, and another final boss after that, and another final boss after that, and just for good measure, there's a fifth final boss at the end. Each ending giving you an insight into what the underlying plot of it all is. There are 15 playable characters, some of which change the game up completely, and some of which I still haven't unlocked because they're just so fucking hard to get. Even the wiki just says, it's complicated for unlocking the last one. There is a hard mode and a completely different game type called greed mode, and different challenges, and all of this is basically just to say you will never get sick of Isaac. You might have a few bad runs with Isaac and not really get your groove going, but there is just no way to feel like you're playing the same game twice. It really feels like it's a game I'll be playing for the rest of my life. I still play it all the time, and as soon as I pick it up, it's hard to play anything else. Talking about it is making me want to play it right now. You know how I said there was no story? I lied. Isaac is just light on its exposition. The story is told through the game itself, which I always love. It's less of a direct narrative and more of a set of very strong themes that permeate everything. This game is fucking dark. You play as a baby escaping his murderous mother by hiding in his basement and crying on enemies to defeat them. It features very strong themes of matricide and filicide, religious fanaticism while also portraying the good side of religion, mental illness, abortion and suicide, but at the same time it has a really stupid sense of humour. The enemies are horrific, deformed babies shooting blood at you, but at the same time they can be cute little poops smearing poop all over the floor. That doesn't sound as cute as it is. The power-ups can be drugs or toothpicks to force Isaac's eyes open, but you can also get an item that fills a room with poop and changes your tears into piss. Thinking about it, there's a lot of childish humour in this game, and it's horribly dark. It's really not the type of style of game I'd usually go for, but something about Isaac just pulls it off so well. In the loading screen between floors, we can see Isaac's nightmares, ranging from getting laughed at in his shiny new dress to running out of toilet roll. It's almost as if the whole thing is so absurd it just becomes normal. I don't want to spoil any of the huge amount of endings, but they're mind-blowing and lend so much context to the gameplay once you reach that point. I guess I wanted to make this video because I have a crazy love for this game. People seem to like it. I've seen a fair few YouTubers make content on it, yet I've never heard it talked about. Even when discussing roguelikes, it seems to get missed out in favour of Gungeon, Dead Cells and Spelunky, even though it helped inspire the new resurgence of roguelikes. With the new huge Repentance expansion coming out, it's the perfect time to check it out. Thank you Edmund Macmillan and the rest of Nicalis for giving me hundreds of hours of joy. Thank you Jacob's Ladder for being the first item that let me beat the game, and thank you for watching. Writing this video was really weird. It reminded me of that one Seinfeld episode. Jimmy is gonna put the moves on Elaine.